So welcome to Chapter 17, Maintaining Windows. There are several maintenance tasks in Windows. These include Windows updates, disk cleanup, clean registry, disk defrag. Note the term maintenance indicates that maintenance only works when it's done at regular intervals, and once a month is a good interval. The System Information tool collects information about hardware resources, components, and software environment, and provides a report on these things. The System Configuration utility provides the ability to edit and troubleshoot operating system and startup processes and services. You can optimize Windows using the control panel programs and features to remove programs. Removing unnecessary programs will free up space on the hard drive, which will allow the hard drive to access data more efficiently. You can also use it to turn Windows features on and off. For instance, if you do not care for solitaire, you can remove it. Device drivers also can be an object of optimization. They have the potential to cause problems, especially if they're poorly written. One thing Microsoft does to avoid this is it uses drivers signing to protect against poorly written drivers. Signed drivers are supposed to be a sure thing. If Microsoft certifies the driver by signing it, it certifies that it is a very good driver. This does not mean that unsigned ones are bad, but definitely consider the source of the driver when you're installing a driver. Performance options allow you to configure CPU, RAM, and virtual memory settings. The dialog box basically has 3 tabs. It has visual effects that can impact performance. You can set this for best performance or best appearance, or let Windows choose it automatically. You can also customize these settings. The Advanced tab adjusts processor scheduling, memory usage, and virtual memory. Data Execution Prevention tab works in the background to stop viruses and malware from taking over programs which are loaded in system memory, which makes the viruses less effective. You can prepare Windows ahead of time for problems. Mostly this is backing up. The most important data on a computer is your personal data, documents, email messages, contacts, web favorites, photographs, and similar files. Every version of Windows comes with some sort of backup utility. Backup utilities use the archive bit to keep information about a file's need to be backed up. If the bit is on, it needs to be backed up. If it is off, it does not need to be backed up. The archive bit is an attribute of a file. You could learn about at least 3 different types of backups. One of them is a full backup. The full backup backs up everything that you select. It clears the archive bit, telling the computer it does not need to be backed up anymore. The differential backup only backs up data that's been changed since the last full backup. It does not clear the archive bit, so it will still think that it needs to be backed up. And if you have to restore, you need the last full backup and the last differential backup. Incremental backup is basically, it backs up all the data that's changed since the last full backup or the last incremental backup. It does clear the archive bit, but if you want to restore after a system crash, you need the full backup and then every incremental backup done since the last full backup. Most recent versions of Windows, from Vista forward, I believe, only have backup options for backup and restore. They do not let you select between differential and incremental, and they no longer support any kind of tape backup. System Restore is another type of backup system. The System Restore tool allows you to create System Restore points. This is basically a copy of the computer's configuration at a specific point in time. If there is a problem later, you can restore the system to this previous state. This basically only changes the settings, the configuration of the system. It does not change any of your data files. So if you have created some, letters, word processing documents after the system restore, it does not change those. It only changes or restores settings and programs that have been changed. And as always, and remember to document everything.